What's up people, how are you doing? My name is Darkes and welcome to my very first video here on YouTube. We'll be starting this new adventure with a speed build meant to set the stage for my upcoming challenge, the Asylum Challenge. It might be a weird way to get started on this legacy challenge thing, but I'm something of a weirdo myself, so it works. Anyway, I'm sure most of you already know everything about this challenge, but just in case there's a newbie among us, here is a quick explanation. The Asylum Challenge is basically about placing 8 Sims with erratic trait into the same house and completing their aspirations in order to get them out. Sounds simple when I put it like that, but obviously there are rules to spice up the whole thing. Or restrictions might be a better way to describe it. Those restrictions cover pretty much every aspect of the game, including the build of the house, which is the subject of this video. I want to make one thing very clear right away though. Excluding one particular situation, I took the rules of this challenge at face value. In other words, I only got the objects that the rules clearly stated that I could use. So things like microwaves, stereos, or storage objects, for example, have no place in my take of the challenge. I decided I wanted to keep only the bare minimum. However, I still won't take any responsibility for the look of this house. Seriously. I can make pretty houses when I want to, I swear. It's just the rules of this challenge are so restrictive that I didn't even feel like trying. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I guess the house would have a prettier shape if I didn't build the bedrooms in the basement, but listen, there's something fishy going on in this asylum, and since I don't own any expansion packs aside from the desert kit, I had to come up with other ways to express that idea. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to use the lab objects from the Get to Work expansion here, but I'm poor. And having bedrooms with windows facing the corridor in the basement was the best I could come up with. Again, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Moving on. You might have noticed already that I placed 3 doors in a row, those that look like bookshelves on the other side. I got the idea of using them from stories that I'm sure most people know, about some mental health hospitals disguising the doors that lead outside as bookshelves to prevent some patients from escaping, which is basically the same thing we want here. The doors lead to this lobby that, in theory, will be the only way out of the asylum, and so the doors will be locked once I get all the Sims inside. And I say in theory because in reality, well, there will be a small twist, but I'll talk about that later. Regarding the wallpapers, I decided to go with something simple because, well, this is a hospital after all. A pretty sketchy one, but still a hospital. I even thought about going all white, but that's kind of pushing my limits. I hate plain white walls, I really do. There's already enough of those in my goddamn house. Now, for the outside look, I just followed a random reference I found and it looked really cool in the photo, but when I tried to replicate the roof in game, it didn't turn out that well. I'm guessing it will look better if the little walls or fences or whatever you want to call them were to properly connect with the, what is it called? Gable roof? Anyway, yeah, the problem is that they don't connect. There's that really weird gap between them that it's driving me insane. I mean, I won't really see that roof once I start playing the challenge, but I might still change it in the future, just for my own peace of mind. I also placed a fence around the lot to make sure my Sims won't wander off during their outdoor activities, and then it's finally time to decorate the house. This is the part where the rules start to kick in. The first thing we need to know is that we are only allowed to use the cheapest objects and in a limited number. In the hard difficulty, for example, we can only have 4 sleeping spots. 4 sleeping spots in a house with 8 Sims. Sounds fun, huh? Even more so when we learn that the cheapest bed is meant for children, so it's very uncomfortable for adults. We also can only have 1 toilet, 1 shower or bathtub, and 1 sink. And since I decided to place that last one in the kitchen, the bathroom doesn't have any. Now, here is the particular situation I mentioned before. You see, the rules don't say anything about actual decorations like wall decorations, rugs, curtains, and so on, so I just assume there's no rules about that. I mean, I still tried to choose only objects on the cheap side of the catalog, but I wasn't really checking numbers at this point. Instead, I focused on using the things that would be a better fit for the plot in my head. Those drawings on the walls, for example, I mentioned they were made by the patients themselves during some therapeutic activities or something. Next is the skill room, or playroom, or whatever you want to call it. The rules say that we cannot have a TV and a computer at the same time, so I decided to go with the TV because I don't think the doctors will let the patients go online. Actually, I might not even allow them to use their phones, so yeah, sorry, but no computer for you. I know I'm just making things harder for myself, but this is supposed to be a challenge, right? If it's too easy, it won't be fun enough. I've been playing this game for 2 years, and I have completed most of the aspirations in the base game before, so I already know how those work and I'm confident about my capabilities to finish this thing. That's why I might need to make the challenge even more complicated for, you know, amusement purposes. Anyway, moving on. The rules say that we have to start with 3 skill objects, but I messed up and placed 4. I guess I got confused with the rules for the medium difficulty and only noticed the mistake while editing the video. Genius! Now I have to go back and delete that guitar. I might place a mirror in its place since mirrors, TVs, bookcases, ovens, and blender boxes are not considered skill objects. That means the chess table, the easel, and the woodworking bench will be the ones staying. To be honest, I don't think it's a good idea to keep hammers and handsaws anywhere near mentally unstable people, but I can make some really good money selling the stuff they will make, so let's just assume the patients will be under close surveillance while using those tools. Okay? Oh, and you probably noticed already that I'm using the tool mod for this build, and listen, it's a really cool mod, I totally recommend it, but take your time getting used to it. Don't do it like me that decided to record this right after installing the mod, and I'm very confused searching for the stuff I want. And I know it looks weird using those 2 bottles of glue to measure the distances and the positions, but this is the method I used before I knew about the tool mod, and it still feels like the easiest and fastest way for me. I know there's also a custom shelf you can download to make it even easier, but here is the thing. I've had very bad experiences with mods and custom content before, so I promised myself I would never use them again. The tool mod is the only exception because I deem it absolutely necessary. Go ahead and judge me. Alright, now we move on to the kitchen. And I have to tell you this. I've always thought that those kitchen counters are hideous, especially in that color, so I have no idea about what I was thinking when I decided to keep them like that. The strangest part, though, is that when I finished decorating everything, I realized I don't hate the final result. I kinda like it, actually. The only thing I like to change in this kitchen is the garbage can. The cheapest one is really childish because of the drawings on the side. It looks weird in a kitchen, but I already ignored the rules enough times, so I'll have to keep it. I didn't place a fire alarm because the rule said no, and also because I never use fire alarms in this game. I like to see the world burn, what can I say? Anyway, I only placed 2 chairs here because I already used a 2-seater bench in the other room, and we are only allowed 4 seating spots in this house. The chairs around the chess table don't count, by the way. I'm not making that up, it's in the rules. You can go ahead and check it if you don't believe me. Oh, and if you can, take a moment to appreciate that not-centered stove hood that I'll be placing in this kitchen. It's beautiful. Finally, we reached the last interior space, the lobby. Since this area won't be accessible to the patients for the most part of the time, I completely ignored the rules here and just decorated the room the way I wanted to. But because the rest of the house is so simple, I decided to follow the theme and kept it pretty simple too. It would be weird to go all out in the lobby of all places. Actually, I should stop calling it lobby and start calling it reception room because that's more what I was going for with the decorations. This will be the place visitors would check in if visits were allowed, that is. The hospital needs to keep appearances either way, and that's why there's a coffee machine, sodas, and stuff. By the way, do you remember when I said that I duplicate an object to measure the distances because it feels easier and faster? Well, guess what? This time I misplaced the counter when I was trying to check the position of the cans, and ouch. But I fixed it. See? No need to panic. I mean, it took me a while because I was not very good with the tool mod at the time, but I fixed it. It's all good now. Anyway, I'm almost finished here. I think the only thing left to do inside the house is to place some surveillance cameras. Once I find them in the mess I made with the tool mod, that is. But about the cameras, I place them pretty much everywhere because that's not suspicious at all. I mean, if we stop to think about it, it makes sense this place is under tight security. The higher-ups need to ensure the safety of the patients, right? That has to be their top priority. They are definitely not spying on them, no sir. We are not suspicious at all. You can trust me. And I'm still thinking about that not-centered stove hood. Did I mention that I'm a perfectionist? I can't stand this sort of thing, I swear. I'm getting itchy all over just because of it. Ugh. And I should probably start taking notes about all the stuff I need to fix on this house before I upload it into the gallery. I mean, I don't think anyone will want this ugly thing, but just in case, it will be my Sims 4 gallery. You can check the description for the details. Okay, next we will be building the backyard. I started by making a sandbox because I thought it would be cool. Like, when I built this, I didn't even know if adult Sims could play in the sand. I checked it afterwards and no, they cannot, but I still wanted it anyway. So, there it is. The perfect place to bury a body. Anyway, as you will see, I put a lot of effort into making that thing for absolutely no reason at all. I guess I just like to waste my time. I will also be adding a couple of planter boxes because first, I will need the money from those plants, and second, there will be a sim with a gardening exploration in the asylum. Ooh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't want to spoil the next video where we will be introducing the patients, do we? Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. The remaining of the video is just me struggling to put a pretty garden together. There's not much to talk about that, so I'll just choose a nice music to play while you mercilessly judge my landscaping skills. Wait. I almost forgot about the gate in the back. So, yeah, the rules say the Sims can sneak out of the asylum during the night, so I decided to place the gate as their escape route. In the plot in my head, there's no gate. They just jump over the fence, but since the Sims cannot actually do that, well, let's just use the power of imagination to pretend that gate is a gap in the wall or something. Okay, now I'm finally done. Yay! This was harder than I thought. I need to practice more. Anyway, time to shut up and let the music take over. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to share it with your friends, drop a like, comment, and subscribe, because I'll be back in a couple days and you don't want to miss a thing. Trust me. See you then. Bye! Oh, and don't forget to check the screenshots at the end of the video. Now, for real. Bye! is a mailbox.